So the boys from Metcalf's have just turned up in a Hiab. I thought it'd be rude not to just let them load it themselves. In fact, they offered. Look at that crane. Proper setup. We don't need to use the new bus. So these lads are running back up the country, so they just thought they'd pick it up on the whilst they're passing, which works out well for us. And to be fair, letting these boys load it is a lot easier for us. Saves messing around with forklifts outside on this uneven ground at the moment. So we're going to get reconcreted as soon as we can. But we're waiting to get this other container moved first, as we've moved one container from this section here, and we're going to get a lot more yard space, as we already have a lot more yard space. Proper rig. And the last piece is ready to come out on the side loader. Couldn't really time that any better. Look at that, look how much easier that is for us using that to take stuff out of the workshop and bring stuff in the workshop. And something has turned up outside. Let's go and take a look. Now then, what could that possibly be? We'll find out shortly. Is it going to be all right, bud?
Yeah. I can't come here a little bit. Yeah, just in a bit more.
I said to Jan one over here, you ain't good on crane? He said no. Let's see. Nice and easy out on the side loader. I'll tell you what, it's so much easier with the crane than messing around with forklifts. Put them under a bit of pressure, eh?
Pressures for tyres.
Pressures for tyres, I like that. That's a good one, that.
Easy work, man. It's silk.
This kid knows what he's doing. Proper outfit, you can just tell, can't you? Proper outfit. big hole. And we've got a bit more room in our yard again. Cal's just got back. Have a tidy up. And then we're going to build our new welding table. I'll come back to this when it's built. And there she is, built up. Have you ever seen anything as cool as that in your life? Because I pretty much haven't. Mac Industries, absolute blown away, mate. Blown away with how cool this is. Just the build quality itself, unreal. Stainless steel adjustable feet. Wow. So there is loads of accessories that you can get for these tables, and I will be buying the full range. Look at that. Nice touches, nice touches. Massive thanks for getting that over to us, pal. We'll put a link in the description for Mac Industries, and go and take a look at what they do, because they do some amazing stuff, believe me, amazing. That's just the start of what I want to get in here. That is for the more precise jobs that will run through the workshop. Obviously we're not going to chuck a bucket on that, but that would have been an ideal job to build that counterweight on. Yeah. So a big thanks for that, guys. Trailer just come in. This is like for one of their big rolls of wire that they put it ground. This is coming from Mac Civils. This needs to be widened about 400mm so it fit bigger drums in it. So we'll replace that box section, cut this airframe off, replace that box section. I'll have to get a longer hydraulic hose, change the braking system a little bit, just make a few adjustments. New piece of solid bar, 75mm solid bar, that. So a new piece of that, and a new box section. That goes on the back end here, as you'll see in the coming chapters. But look at that. So it is the end of the day here at the moment, and I'm just going to sit and have a look and reflect on a lot of stuff that's been going on in the past couple of weeks that has now been resolved and come to an end. And so this week has been a really good week for WELDERFABBER. We've got the bench and the forklift. And we've got a little crane above our new plasma table. So it has been a difficult couple of weeks, but how can I explain it? How can I explain it about the bank scenario? So the bank scenario was affecting me that badly, mentally, and drained me physically because I couldn't sleep at night. It was just driving me insane, and it's hard to put into words what you would do if you was ever put in that position. It was a difficult position, and I went home on a Friday night after the account got closed a few days before, and I said I've had enough. I said to myself, I've had enough, yeah. And I had my daughter the following day, and I took her out for the day, tried to switch off from work, and I thought, I've got a fight on my hands here. I've got a big fight on my hands, and I ain't backing down. So just having that little bit of time out with my daughter completely changed my mind and the way I thought that what I was going to do moving forward. And yeah, we went down all the right channels, we made all the right moves, and we got the result at the end of it. That'll probably go into more detail on later on, but we got what we wanted. So yeah, I'm just going to sit and look at my table. What a little beauty. Airframe off. And what we're going to do, we're going to sleeve it. Instead of replacing this full box section, we're going to sleeve it about a metre, so 500mm down this side and 500mm down this side. That's 120 box, so we're going to put a 100mm box section on the inside and then a piece of 120 on the outside, and also a backing plate on this side. So we're going to go a bit overkill.
Lost me dog.
Make some new big gussets. Where's Milo down? Oh, where's his IVs?
Where's your IVs? You can't see you.
Where's your IVs? You can't be wandering around here, lad, with no IVs on. Huh? You stay with your dad.
Come here, boy.
What do you think at welding table, Dan?
What, on it?
Huh?
What?
Something else, that, isn't it? So what we're going to do, we'll get all the clamps and all the squares and everything to go with all the accessories, you know what I mean?
Cool, that, isn't it?
Yeah, that is pretty cool. Mac Industries, nice little touch there from them men. And the WELDERFABBER in the side there. So, like I say, this will be used for more precise jobs. This dab might actually more be handy for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you do a lot more precise stuff than us really, don't we? We're more on the heavy plant side.
You don't want to be putting a bucket on it, do you?
No, do we? No. The bucket will never go on that. And look,
yeah, I'll tell you what we've got coming up actually. I've got a load of right fancy handrails for some apartments. They'll be perfect on that because we'll be able to jig them up on here, won't we?
Yeah, yeah. I'll get all the squares and all the clamps, and there's loads of attachments that you can get for these.
Is there?
Loads, yeah.
Cool.
So if you look on Mac Industries website, you'll be able to see them. But look what's happened to my new forklift. Not happy about this.
Don't be blaming me for this now. I've got no involvement in what's going on here. Can't even see it.
This is one of your lads that's done it.
There's nothing to see.
Only been here a couple of days. Look at that.
We've got some, it's a good job I've got some touch up.
Have you got some?
Yeah, I've got some in cupboard, yeah. It looks a bit like stone chip what's on there though, doesn't it?
Yeah, Jensen's actually already seen it on my story on Instagram.
Has he?
And offered to send me some touch-up paint, so thanks for that, Jensen. We'll have it off you anyway, yeah? Because I think we'll be needing it.
Definitely.
I think we'll be needing it. Anybody looking for a forklift? There you men.
We've left dog on table. Come on, puppy.
Get him back.
Say hello.
Get him back upstairs in that office.
Come on. Come on with me.
So whenever our Dan's on the cam now, we're going to call it the Dan cam. So we should get this pretty much buttoned up today for Maximals. It's just so they can put big wider barrels on it. So I'm going to head over to Arvin's in a minute and pick the bar up that runs into them little slots here. We're extending it that much. So now we've filled the counterweight with lead, molten lead. We've just got this welded to the bench at the moment. And now we're going to finish it off with some plates being put in here off the plasma. Just to add the weight up a little bit. Need to get this shortened. This is too long, so we need to get it shortened. So that's one plate that'll go in, and then we'll make one a little bit bigger to go over the top of that. We'll also weld them into the counterweight. That makes life so much easier for big sheets on the plasma, especially 25mm, 30mm thick. We need a spreader beam, that's all. We need a spreader beam and another magnet. So once we get these next two plates welded in, then we'll take it back up to HML and put it on the scales and see where we're at. So we've got this trailer now extended. New bar in, sleeved it back, plug welded, and the plate welded on the back side there. Just give it that a little bit more. Just got the airframe to put back on now. Then we'll need some longer threaded bars to sort the braking system out. Easy, straightforward job. So we're just back over at HML Recycling, and we're going to put this back on the scales. Now we've got all the lead in it and the top tacked on. And whilst I'm here, these boys are having a problem with the sheeting system on this roll-on, roll-off wagon. And the tension that goes into that. Now that tube has a spring inside it, you've got to tension it a certain way. Now the way it just unravelled then, it was tensioned the wrong way. So we'll try tensioning it up shortly. If it won't tension, then we'll have to fit a new roller to it, which they have got one in stock here. So anyway, let's go over to the scales and see where we're at. So here we are now, on the scales. Let's go and see Wade and see where we're at. What we're looking at?
Bang on a ton.
Bang on a ton?
Yeah.
Never.
So it goes up in 20 kilo increments.
It goes up in what?
20 kilo increments, but if you press and hold 0, it takes you within 2 kilos.
Right, so it's just over a ton.
Yeah, so a ton and 6 kilos.
I'll do us.
Is the exact weight.
That'll do us, plus we've got a top plate to go on it, and the nuts and bolts, and some gusset plates, so that will take it over the ton mark easy. So, tell you something, it'd have to be lead, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would have to be.
Nothing else would really have done it other than lead. So, top man for supplying.
No messing.
Top man for supplying lead. And now we can get it back on trailer. And I'll give these men a lift fitting this sheet. So I've just changed the spring for them whilst I'm here, just give them a lift. As they give me a lift with the lead, didn't they? So with these sheet springs, you need to get them into the headboard, and once they're in the headboard, turn them clockwise, give them 10 clicks, so that's 10 rotations, and that should give it the correct tension. If it's not tensioning, if you've still got a little bit of sag within the sheet, then just give it a few more clicks, because the spring will get worn over time, and this one that we've just taken out is not tensioning at all. Can you see how the spring snapped with inside it? That should be now trying to spin back that bar that way. So that just took 15 minutes really, that, to do that. But I've seen people messing about with these sheet springs for hours trying to suss it out how to do it. If you don't know how to do it, don't do it, because you snap that spring and it's another 800 quid. Right, now I can get back to the yard. So this is a little barrel trailer ready to go back now to Maximals. As we've widened it by 200mm. The back plate in, and it has a metre of box section. Within that box section, plug welded back as you saw earlier. We just extended the little bracket for the brakes. All that's needed now is a new plug, as the plug was destroyed. Gone rotten with inside the plug. And that is actually a solid bar there, 75mm solid bar. So that'll carry whatever weight they want to put on it, on them big barrels of wire that they lay in the ground. Another job out the door. So me and Tom, 28 Fabricate, are back out on the road together again today. We're just going out to a breakdown over in Oldham, to a little loading shovel bucket, I think it is. As you can see the damage there, it looks like it's already been repaired a couple of times before, so we'll go and do a proper repair on it this time if we can, depending on how damaged the bucket is or how thin the floor is in the bucket. Don't know till we get there, but the customers, it's their only machine and they can't afford to stand it being down, so I thought I'd jump on it and get it done for them as soon as we can. So we'll get ourselves over to Oldham now. I'm going to let Tom take the lead on this and see how he performs. Easy little job for you, that, Tom? Easy little job for Tom. Just landed on site, and somebody's been here before a few times. So really this bucket should come in for repair. It's fully cracked all the way along that back edge there. And it's even worn the wear barrels off on the corner there. So we've only come to repair this section here really, just to keep it going. But we'll try and do a little bit on that back end as well whilst we're here. Weld these up. We'll get needle gun out, get all this muck out, get this muck out of here, these bits of concrete, these bits of bolts. What we'll do, we'll push it down against the floor. Open that up, open it up to allow a gap, and then we'll level that up and weld it up flush. Use the Warrior, running off the Shindower as always. I'll get my overalls on and we'll crack on. So the bucket is in full-on survival mode. We're just basically piecing it back together with weld. And we're just repairing as many cracks as we can. The bucket's paper thin. Needs to come into the workshop really for a full hit. So we'll weld up what we can on the inside and then we'll turn the bucket and do as much welding as we can on the outside. The machine is isolated as it is a little bit wet. If you're ever welding a bucket on a machine, never put your earth lead on the machine itself, always put it close to wherever you're welding. I've welded the crack up in the floor, pushed it back down with a dog and a wedge. That's what we call a dog in England. And a wedge underneath that, pull the material together, weld it up. And along the back edge we can just work our way along and hammer it down. Nice easy job for us men this. We like doing stuff like this. See the wear boys have worn off there, come away. It needs a piece putting on this corner here. So I didn't know anything about these other bits that needed on this bucket. All I knew about was that front corner that I showed you the picture before. So we'll do what we can to keep it going for the customer, and I'll have a chat with him and see if this bucket can come into the workshop when he gets a spare one to put on it.
It was already cracked.
These are the culprits.
It's already cracked.
Right, so we've welded up what we can now. All the cracks where we can see. We've just advised the customer that needs a new floor putting in and new wear bars on the back and a new edge, especially the turnable edge, which needs to be replaced right now. So a bucket, as you can see there, should always be replaced as it gets to the bucket itself, the wear bars. A bucket will last a lifetime if you keep replacing the wear strips before it gets to the actual bucket itself. Especially on bigger buckets, digging buckets on site, on quarries. So job's done, paid, let's go. Back in the workshop, and the counterweight is ready to go. So I've just got a couple of lifting eyes, just for the make it easier for the customer on site to lift this about. They asked me to make some, but I ended up buying some. And get some lifting eyes to lift the actual main counterweight itself off the machine. So that is rated to 8 tons. So we also got them 2 of them all in that bag. So we just the plate to cut on the plasma that actually welds to the machine itself. They'll line up with them 4 holes. So we've got the 25mm plate on the bed. So we've just got that to cut. And I'm going to go to SMP. It's a submarine place to land some pins out of a rig, and Callum is going to go over to repair that baler door. So the big crack on the side of the baler. Not quite too sure what material it is, but I've asked the customer to find out off the manufacturer what steel it is, and he just called me back to tell me his actual steel. So I looking at the picture, I thought it was kind of cast. So we're just going to weld it with a MIG, preheat it, do a full pen butt weld on it, and post heat it. So we'll do a little bit of heat as it cools down, just dab it with heat, and then let it cool on its own, and that should be good. And the boys can carry on with the ramp. As the ramp's coming together. All the legs are cut to length with the angles on, and all the base plates are welded up. All the flat bars are cut for the bracing, so that should go together fairly quick. I'm going to get myself over to SMP.
Arrived here at Sterling Metals to have a look at this baler. Now, as you can see, we've got a bit of an issue, to say the least. It's had an hard life, I think, this one, by the looks of it. That side seems alright though. But we're gonna repair this today. There's quite a bit of, I don't think that's a weld repair. Oh no, maybe not. Looking at the outside. Like an additional piece that they put on. Probably from the factory. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this back, this side. Back to like nothing almost. Put a nice double V prep on that one. There and there. And then clean all that inside edge up. Lovely bit of preheat. Weld her up, and then we'll probably might put a plate over the top yet. Probably will, to be honest. There is room to put probably a 10 or a 15mm plate on inside there. Where the ram is, where that door sits. I think that's what they've been baling when it went bang. So I'll stick the time lapse up and we'll see you in a bit. So we've got the root in one side here now, as you can see. So that'll be ground back. Got this piece of angle iron just welded on here, just so that we can stop that from pulling either direction really. That inside measurement is perfect for the door to fit in. As you can see, full pen in there. So that'll be ground out before we weld the inside as well. The customer supplied an 8mm plate that we'll put on the outside here. One for him there. So I'll fill up one side of the prep. Start the inside, grind that back flush so we don't have any interference on the inside face where the door goes. So you can see there, same as that side really. Put the plate on, put the holes in for the bolts. Go in there, I've had to cut them off you see, so the customer's going to get some more of them. But we're just going to carry on, get this welded up, and we'll catch you when we're finished. So we're packed up now. Should now run absolutely perfect yet again today. How many hours are we on now? 215 hours. Van's all tidy. Still do a bit of a sweep up in a minute. Happy days. So I've asked the customer to keep this on till tomorrow when he builds it back up, just because it's still pretty warm. I just don't want it to pull in too much. Shouldn't do, but just be on the safe side while he's not going to use it till the morning. So what we've done is we V'd that out with the gas, welded that up nicely up vertical, and then on rear we did our vertical passes. I think there's about 9 passes in that, and then the customer supplied an 8mm plate that we put over the top, the bolts in, and then you saw before we had to cut that off, which is what the ram mounts to, that ram, to lift the door up and down. So the customer's very happy, he's pleased that he's got his machine back up and running, and I'm pleased it was a successful job, everything went well, no issues, and a nice bit of practice up vertical. We like a bit of vertical welding, not many people can do it, or do it to a good standard at least, but I'd say it's not too bad that, to be honest. So I'm going to head back to the workshop now and crack on with the next job.
I just landed at SMP, and here's Bobby. How you doing, Bob?
No, not bad. Not bad.
So we're coming here today to land some pins out on this decompression chamber, and we got some locked in pins, so we're going to use the arc slice. We're going to blow a hole right through the centre, cool it and see if it shrinks, gets a little bit of movement, and then we get a jack on it and try and push it, or a hollow jack and pull it, or a bit of both, depending how seized they are. And if we can't get them to move, then we'll have to slice right through the centre of the pin, up, down, and basically let the pin collapse in on itself. Alright, now then the arc slice, if people don't know about the arc slice, is it works just off oxygen and exothermic arc rods. Now then, whatever ingredients is in that, I don't know, but that will blow through anything. So all you need is a small amount of ampage. Strike it, and that's connected to the welder. And away you go with your rod, as I'll show you in a minute. So you just connect your pipe to your oxygen. So we're on the quick connect, straight into the oxy. We've got the Shindawa running. Small amount of amps, strike against that little I-beam there, and away we go with the rod. So we'll just see how many rods it takes to get through that stainless steel pin there. I've got 3 boxes with me. So we'll crack on. So we're 4 or 5 rods in now, and we've got a nice slice right up and down the pin. That's just took approximately 20 minutes, 25 minutes. And now let's just see if it actually moves. Whilst it's still hot, we could quench it. But let's just see if it moves whilst it's still hot. Oh, she's moving, boys. Look at that. Hey, Bobby.
Perfect.
No messing. So we just washed this one, and now we've quenched it because it was solid. Come on, boys. Oh yes. Beautiful. Bobby's got easy stuff.
Easy go.
Bobby's got the easy bit. There's an old saying, if it's made of liquid, it's going to move. One way or another, it's going to move, ain't it? No problem. What do you think, boys?
Spot on.
Grand. Can you kettle boiling?
Yeah, I think it's have a brew time for these boys, but I'll have a Hawley. So we'll just let them cool, both sides really cool, and just make sure they keep moving, yeah? So we've got to get this hooked up to a crane before we take the pins all the way out, obviously. So now that we know it's moving, they can get the crane in, which will be another day, it won't be today. But they now know that they will move because they're cold now. I won't need to come back to get them out, although I did say to the guys, if they're struggling, just give us a shout and I'll shoot up. These guys are only 30 minutes away from workshop, so I don't mind flying back out if they're stuck. But now they're bringing another little job out from the workshop, that another pin that's seized, and we might have to lance it again, but We'll see in a minute. We might be able to pull it out. And Bobby's looking at me over there. So they've just brought another section out of the workshop for me to look at. That they've been struggling with. Is that locked up there, Bobby, now that?
It's locked up, yeah.
Locked up. So they've had the inner pack on it. Jack, heat. So there's that one. And this one here. I don't know what this is, but it's some kind of attachment that rigs up to that. So I've just said I'll give the boys a lift getting these out. You see how they've had the little frame welded on there and had the jack in. So I'm going to get the pepper pot out of the van. We'll apply a lot more heat than what they've been using up to now, and if it doesn't move with heat, then we use the lance again and lance the pins out. But we want to try and save the pins if we can on this one. So let's see how we get on. We managed to get the first one out. Now we're going for this one. So what I'll do, I'll show you the process. I'll pass the camera over to Bobby, and so you guys can actually see the process of the rod going through the pin. I've gone in with one pin already, with one rod already. You can see. Yeah, Bob, I'll pass that to you, mate. You just try and you guide me, Bob, if I go off track with the rod, yeah? So you can control the air pressure through the trigger. You see a small amount of air. Strike up. So a little amount of air now. And then we'll build the air pressure up as we go in. In line there, Bob. So I'll just make that hole a little bit bigger to allow my rod to go in easier. Nice and straight. And we're just going through the rod, nice and easy now. Let that molten metal drop out. Change the rod. Here's Bob. Quick change over. Quick strike. Straight back into the pin. That's your grease. So we've gone through the grease hole there. Rod, Bob. These smaller pins are actually trickier than the big ones we've just done. This will go right through the other side shortly. I'm going to keep this rod nice and straight. Right, Bob. Man. Make it a bigger hole going through the pin now. Let that molten metal drop out. That's actually a stainless steel pin. I'll apply a little bit more oxygen now. I'm going through the other side. Locking up again there. concentrate, Bob. Gone through. Are we through the centre? That's what we wanted out. And that's both pins out now. And they were harder to move than the other. And we have just tucked into the boss slightly on the opposite side of that. As you can see, we run offline. Should have used a smaller rod, but we only had the 10mm rods in the barn. An hour on welder for Bobby and a little die grinder will soon sort that out, won't it, lad?
Sort that out, no problem. No problem.
So the boys were struggling with these. Had a good day on it yesterday, didn't you?
Good day, yeah.
Trying to get this one out. And the lads just got it out, well, within half an hour. Whoosh. Now we've picked up a little bit there. Picked up a little bit. Now then, this could be a job for our little Indian father, couldn't it? Arvin. So these are stainless steel pins, and I'll take one away with me and take it over to Arvin's and get him to price it up for us. And if you're wondering why I'm wearing my old overalls from Hurt Plants, it's because these are a lot more flame resistant than the ones that we use at the moment. But I think that's pretty much it, Bobby.
That's it.
Me? Yeah? Yeah.
Thanks for your help.
And yeah, maybe we'll get some more work off these men in the future. We shall see. Back in the office, and nice to deal with them guys up at SMP. That decompression chamber, it's quite a technical thing when you get involved in looking how much work that them guys are doing, and they've got to do a full refurb on that whole thing within the next 2 months and get it back out. And that actual piece of equipment there that we're lancing the pins out came from Egypt. The guys went over and brought it back from Egypt. So you never know, we might be back up there doing a bit more work for them, man. I'm still ill. I'll tell you something. I've been ill now for 2 weeks. Callum's ill. The director's ill. Our Dan's been in bed for 2 days. Now, if our Dan gets floored, he must be ill, because he never gets ill, you know. And there's a couple of other lads who are ill down there. There must be something going around at a minute up here, because it's weeks of a job. It's not just a few days of a job, it's weeks of a job. So yeah, Callum's got the baler door lock done. Done a good job there, Cal. Done a full pen butt weld on that. Left a good gap, ground it back. Full pen butt weld. Hopefully that'll hold. We were told it was steel, so it looked a bit casty to me, but we were told it was steel off the manufacturer, so we should be good to go on that. It should hold all right. Put that little extra plate on the side, did he? He's actually just gone over to Miller's Recovery just to weld a bracket on back of a truck that Tom 28 went out yesterday and he actually welded the big plate on. Callum's just going to weld the hitch bracket on. The lads are still on the wash ramp down there for Metcalf. We're hoping to get that done in the next couple of days, finished. And we're just about to get an order for another one. another wash ramp down in Cornwall way. So I'm just waiting for them guys to pay the deposit. Really, if they pay the deposit, then it comes into the system and we start processing it. So yeah, I'm feeling a bit under the weather. I might just have a day off. I don't know. But I'm pricing a lot of stuff here at the moment, and just finished my invoicing off. There's only a couple of people that owe us money, to be fair. Everybody stuck by us when we had the issue with the bank. You know, they stood by us, and you know the amount of customers that rung me and said when they found out we had an issue with the bank, if you need to borrow some money, Baz, I'll lend you some money. I'm like, no, I'm sound, don't worry, I'll be all right, you know. But it just amazes me how many people rung me to say that to me, you know. And you guys know who you are, and I'll always help you if you ever need help, you know, moving forward. And it's just nice to have them people around you to know that they've got your back when you need it, you know, because there's other people out there that want to poke you back. No, they're not bothered. They want to see you fail. There's people out there that want to see you fail, but there's a lot of good people out there that want you to succeed. So, big cheers to you guys for that. All right, so I'm going to bail out here at the minute and try and get myself better. So I've just looked at the footage, and believe it or not, I have just been in bed for 72 hours with this bug. Now then, we've all got this bug at work here. Callum's off ill, Tom's off ill, our Dan's off. Our Dan's been ill for 5 days. He can't get out of bed, and I don't know what it is. It's some kind of weird bug that we've all got. It's a bit, yeah. I've been rattling like a bag of bones. But anyway, we've got enough for a chapter, so I'm going to put an end on it here and now. Cheers, guys. Thanks for watching. I have actually just come in to go back to do a bit of lancing for SMP. That's the only reason why I'm in today, because them lads are stuck on site and they need somebody to go and do some lancing. So cheers, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.